I was just looking at Pinterest and I stumbled across the Crumpets. And I remembered the Crumpets from the 90s. They were very popular. They were, you know, readily available at the store in the 90s when we were all on the, you know, low-fat diet. And I forgot all about them. And then, you know, I have a nephew-in-law who's from England, and I asked him, hey, do you have a crumpet recipe? And he said, no, he never made them from scratch, even though he's a very good cook. I mean, we look forward to everything that he cooks. So I went searching for a crumpet recipe that I could convert to keto, and it was very hard to find. There are very few. Then I went on Amazon to look for the crumpet rings. They have some cheapos that you can get for $15 for a set of 4, but everybody's complaining about how they stick. And the only one that had raving reviews was this guy, Wrenbury, crumpet rings. And it says, ideal for crumpets, Yorkshire puddings, and pochette rings, non-stick. Look at it. These I wound up paying $30 for, and I must say, I felt like such a fool because when I look at this, it looks like a can of tuna to me. So, I'll put the link, but you know, you could just cut off the top and the bottom of the can of tuna and use those for your rings, but of course I would probably spray them. These I won't have to. They are quite nice, and I consider them an investment. So this weekend, I was dog sitting for my sister who went to Door County, Wisconsin, so I had 3 dogs. 2 of theirs are puppies, and yeah, it was quite the weekend with those pups. But so I couldn't videotape the way that they play. I mean I could not record a thing, but I tried, and I gave that up. But that's okay, because that conversion was a total epic fail, because I tried to use my carbulose flour, and I think the reason why that doesn't work is because of the wheat that is in the carbulose flour. So then I spent a lot of the weekend just, you know, looking around on YouTube, and then I found Alicia, the sous chef with a sweet tooth, her channel, and I learned some things that, well, I already knew but refused to believe. She's using coconut flour for all of her baking, along with a combination of whey protein isolate, making wonderful baked goods. You need to check out her channel. I'll link her below. So I thought I needed to make this, or try this, with coconut flour and the whey protein powder, whey protein isolate powder. Now, I had a protein powder, but it was plant-based, and I realized it was not whey protein isolate. And I didn't like it. I wound up throwing that out, which was a total waste of money, because I know that I paid $38 for that jug. But every time I tried to make like a smoothie or something with it, I didn't like the flavor, so I wound up dumping it. And I bought this. I did go to Costco first, but they had a 5-pound bag, and I was really looking for the unflavored. I did see some on Amazon, one for only $20 for a pound. That's you know, unflavored. I am going to get that, but this is what I could find at the stores. $12.49 at Kroger, but this is vanilla. So I won't be adding any vanilla, because also I'm using my Good Karma flax milk, and last time I went to Meijer's, they only had the unsweetened vanilla, so I couldn't get the plain this time. So, okay, first things first. Over here I have my scale. You know I'm not much on measuring, but Alicia, the sous chef with the sweet tooth, she measures everything in grams because she says it doesn't come out right otherwise. So I have 30 grams of this coconut flour. And now, so I'm going to pour that in my bowl over here. And then 80 grams of this whey protein isolate. This is the amount that she used in her zucchini bread recipe, and I think this is about the amount of flour that I'm going to want to test the crumpets. Okay, I have a scoop. Let's see what it weighs. Let's zero out the scale. Okay, it's zeroed out. Alright. Let's see, 20. Okay, I'm gonna need several scoops of this. Ooh, I'm at 77. Let's just sprinkle some in. Ooh, 80. Okay. So there we go. It smells really good. So there's my flours. Let's set this aside. Okay, so I have my flour here ready. Now the crumpets have very few ingredients. I mean, it's basically flour, milk, and water and baking soda. 1 teaspoon of xantham gum. 1 teaspoon of xantham gum in, and then I need, she's calling for baking powder. So that's not in the authentic recipe for the crumpets. They're not using baking powder at all. So I don't know if I should add that because we will be adding baking soda. Yeah, I'm not going to add the baking powder to this, but I am going to add the salt because, you know, we're not using any butter that's salted or anything. So I just need a little bit of pink salt, like a half a teaspoon. I don't need to measure that. I just sprinkle some in. So that's it. My yeast was dead. So I decided to go with the 1 cup of the warm milk and check the temperature. We're at 113. So, and I think I have to use the honey. 112. All right, this will cool it down. I'm gonna use a teaspoon of honey. Now I may or may not use all of this milk, but I'm thinking that I might, because this is coconut flour after all, which needs, you know, more moisture. Okay, so I'm gonna put the honey in, teaspoon. It always works with my bread. Okay, and then we're gonna get in a tablespoon of the Active Dry Yeast. All right, so that'll be 2 of these. That should do it. I did get the yeast to rise during my epic fail. It's just that the dough didn't rise with the carbulose flour. All right, so now it's really dissolving, and I'm going to pour it into this 2-cup measure to give it room to rise. My yeast is quite alive. It's bubbling away. It's been more than 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go with this. All right, so I have my flour mixture, and I'm going to see how much this can take. It might be all of it because of the coconut flour. I'm just gonna mix it with my Danish whisk. You could use, you know, a beater or a stand mixer, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm really feeling like it's gonna take all of it. So I'm gonna mix this up. Let's see. It's definitely gonna take all of it. That's just how it is with coconut flour. I'm putting it all in. The coconut flour will definitely absorb all that. I'm going to mix this for a good 3 minutes. Okay, I transferred it into a smaller bowl. I sprayed this with the coconut spray. It's quite sticky. I'm thinking from the Xantham Gum maybe, but this is a very important step to turn them into crumpets, because this is the step that you know, makes all the nice beautiful holes that crumpets are known for. So I'm going to cover this up with plastic wrap loosely, and put it in a warm place for at least an hour or so. So I'm just gonna put it into the oven. We'll see in a bit. In an hour. It's been an hour and I took a peek. Check it out. I'm gonna grab it. My dough has definitely doubled in size. First of all, I pulled out my Ovente griddle grill. Now, really the authentic version says to do this on a 10-inch cast iron skillet. I don't own one, but so I put it on my giftster list for Christmas this year. I'm gonna have to do it on my griddle. So I have 1 cup of warm water here, and I need to add, I just opened this box of baking soda, and I was glad to see that I had a box that's still within, that's still good till 2024. Apparently this lasts a long time. So a half a teaspoon of baking soda into 1 cup of warm water. Mix this up. I want to see if this has lost some stickiness. No, it has not. It's still sticky. All right. Ooh. It bubbles up real quick. This is very interesting. That baking soda goes right to work. I'm feeling success here. All right, there it is. Beautiful. Now, back on the plastic wrap goes, and back into a warm place. This time, only 30 minutes. All right. I'm really loving the consistency. Okay, I have 4 in, and you want to fill it like 2/3 full. This, for some reason, it feels like there's gelatin in there, but there's not. And the authentic way is to not flip it. This needs to cook for 10 minutes. And, you know, I might put the, let's see. Yeah. I'm going to put the lid down because a lot of people complain about the fact that the top isn't done. And you're really not supposed to flip this if it's authentic crumpets from England. We'll be back. I'm kind of bummed because I am not getting the holes. But yeah, I'm gonna flip them and we're gonna see what we got. Well, there they are. I didn't get the holes that I like, but they do look pretty darn delicious. Here's my little crumpet. It's not exactly a crumpet because it doesn't have the holes. Let's try it. I will definitely make this again. This is absolutely delicious. I think it tastes a lot like a crumpet. You just don't have the visual. It's fabulous. Way better than an English muffin. You know what this reminds me of? This outside crust tastes exactly like a cream puff. This is like cream puff dough. Very interesting and very delicious. So I'll be eating this for breakfast. Thanks for stopping by for another video, and we will see you next time.